veteran and documenting excursions on various Chinatown buses to Virginia. The state he arrived in as a stowaway on a TW flight from Greece, his native country, at the age of 9. Where he spent the majority of his school days freestyling at the lunch table after digesting Shirley Jackson and eventually dropping out of art school. Everybody, Mike Blain.
Yeah! Woo!
All right, man.
Yeah, dude.
Hello, thank you for having me, everyone. I have not read anything aloud since the last time I did that was in a coffee shop in Norfolk, Virginia with a gay dude dressed as an Egyptian. That definitely was the 90s. So I appreciate this opportunity to read again. This first bit is a short of an upcoming collection. I don't know when it's going to come out, whatever it is, but this first one's called Pop Star. The doors of the F train hadn't even opened yet, and we could all hear it. Even as the subway was squelching to a halt, that piercing frequency was still audible. We thought perhaps it was coming from the street below the elevated platform, which seemed impossible, but it was somehow drowning out the various mashed-up orchestra of an entire city block. No, this cacophony was coming from inside the subway car. With a few seconds before the doors opened, various glances shot around as though they were about to be a fire drill. People began piling in, and it hit us all in the face. An R&B-ish a cappella version of No Doubt's Don't Sleep. Shrill and forced, erupting from a 4'2" Cabbage Patch doll in tightly drawn braids in a nurse's uniform. Her small frame swallowed in it, crisp and creased in a blinding hue of pukish almost. We ushered ourselves in with rolling eyes and low expectations. She sashayed around the pole, mid-note, and into the nook in front of the opposite set of doors to take her stage, not missing a beat. Don't speak, I know what you're thinking, so please stop explaining. Don't tell because it hurts. A collective one, really? And 4 or 5. The doors closed, sending us into the uninviting serenade. No Doubt's new singer's eyes were vacant and set far back into her skull. They noticeably met with at least one strap hangers. He appeared to be enjoying what he was hearing, regardless of the obvious butchery. She spun around towards the door and continued to sing, now to herself, her hands expressing the pain in Gwen Stefani's words. The way people do when they're feeling it, exclaiming to their muted reflections in the subway door window that it hurts. By shaking the imaginary demons of the torso with their hands and dancing in place with it. Letting it know with a swift caress that it means so much to them. Her notes were clanging against the actual notes of the muffled version leaking out of her hot pink earbuds. The volume level pushed to its limits, the song defiantly attempting to defend itself against the bastardizing that was happening. Framed at 11 to be enjoyed by herself and anyone else in a 5-foot radius. Its attempt at drowning her out was thwarted by her ability to stay on beat. Another, really? Was muttered as she hummed the next few bars. The painful singing prompted me to consider getting off the next stop, which is half a bridge's length away. I rationalized staying on the train by the fact that the song couldn't possibly clock in any longer than 4 minutes. When I got on, she must have already been at least halfway through. She was singing a fucking chorus. Plus, I was baited. Fuck it, I'll stay on the Canal Street. The round-faced alt nurse continued rattling off the lyrics in a way Mariah couldn't carry.
Classic.
With a complete disregard for harmony or people's state of mind. So do stop explaining, cause you are so crazy. Stop it and say, cause you are a flirt. So sure, with such a heavy residue of conviction smeared across her face, that's how it went. It ain't. And according to the gentleman in the fresh direct uniform jacket with the gate of the dump truck, it wasn't either. Hey, how that song go? The young man sitting next to him concurred. Damn sure ain't. A teenage girl crossing them chimed in she needed to quit. This ain't no American Idol. The band she took notice, contesting with a simple eye roll and a triumphant whoa, 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 slaughtering the lyric with the precision of a killing machine. She's feeling it. I'm all for singing, but Jesus Christ, said a voice from the other end of the car. I began to wonder about the band itself. No Doubt's Don't Speak was never anyone's favorite song in my peer group. I don't recall if any of their songs were. Sure, they were a platinum-selling band in an angst-ridden, heroin-drenched period of rock music history. A climate filled with 3-chord opuses and one-hit wonders. They had an anti-hero pastiche of ska-influenced chart-topping nuggets. I really liked their first album. Some would argue them a total joke. Their singer Gwen Stefani is a huge talent. She moved on now to fashion and motherhood. That's cool. Not sure what the rest of the band is doing these days. Hopefully collecting royalty checks and kicking it in the Caribbean with oh, whoa, whoa. The song is definitely ending now. The train had begun descending down from the bridge into the tunnel, squealing and slowing its pace, hinting to anyone that was hatching an escape plan to get into position. Roughly half the people on board had zipped up and mashed themselves in the groups in front of the doors. The singing had trailed off as we pulled into the stop, and it appeared she'd be exiting as well. The doors opened and the car mostly emptied except for me, her, and the roughly 10 people that returned to their seats to continue on now that the song had ended. 4 people shuffled in and the doors closed. As the train began moving, she fumbled into her pockets as though she were reaching for a concealed weapon and pulled out a glittered object, her iPod. She pressed a button and put it back in her purse. I turned towards the Jameson ad and began reading the copy. In 1846, John Jameson, arm wrestler 21, shit, repeat. Thank you. This next little tidbit